third grade. Today we are starting Chapter 4, The Case of the Curious Clues. Remember, Mrs. Brisbane still is not back. Mr. Adonopoulos just finished his first day, and Humphrey is hoping that Mrs. Brisbane's going to be back. Once the room was quiet, I hopped on my wheel and spun as fast as my legs would go. Spinning helps me think, and I had a lot of thinking to do. I waited and waited for Aldo to come in and clean. Maybe he would tell me what had happened. Suddenly, I was blinded, and Aldo's voice boomed. "Hey, buddies, how is it going?" "Things are unsqueakably bad," I told him as my eyes adjusted to the lights. Aldo wheeled his cleaning cart into room 26 and toward our table. "I guess you heard about Mrs. Brisbane," he said, leaning down to look in my cage. What happened?" I screeched. Aldo shook his head. "Who'd have thought? I don't have to tell you what I think of Mrs. Brisbane. She inspired me to want to be a teacher. Aldo goes to school in daytime so he can teach school someday. He's an excellent cleaner, but I think he'll be a great teacher too. Like I said to Maria, boy, you never know what's going to happen next." Maria was Aldo's wife and a special human to me. "I don't even know what happened today," I tried to tell him. I know, he said. "You miss her." Then Aldo went to work. Usually I love to watch him clean. He sweeps and swoops, he dusts and polishes, he hums and sings and sometimes does a dance. But he was quieter that night. Oh, he did get the room very clean, but there was no humming, singing, or dancing. Every once in a while he'd stop, shake, and mumble, "What a thing to happen," or "You just never know." I certainly didn't know what was going on, and wished someone would tell me. When he was finished, Aldo took out a sandwich and his thermos of coffee and sat in front of Og and me. He usually had his dinner break with us, and he always remembered to bring me veggies. "Here you go, Humphrey, old pal," he said, as he pushed a sweet, crunchy celery stick into my cage. Thanks, I squeaked. Then he dropped a fishy frog stick into Og's tank. My neighbor splashed happily. "Hey, I was thinking about that Sherlock Holmes book," Aldo said. "I think I'm going to read that story about the redhead again." "Read it now," I begged him, "please." But Aldo just ate and packed up his cleaning supplies and wheeled his cart out of room 26. "You two have a good night," he said as he switched off the lights. I was disappointed to see him go. It might be a long time before I had the chance to hear the end of that story. But after I thought about it some more, I decided to take things into my own paws. Then, when I saw the lights of Aldo's car leaving the parking lot near my window, I jiggled the lock that doesn't lock and opened my cage. First, I needed to talk to Og. I was thinking, if we knew how Sherlock Holmes solved a mystery, maybe we could solve our mystery, I squeaked. "Boing, boing," Og twanged. "I mean the mystery of what happened to Mrs. Brisbane," I explained patiently. I try hard to be patient with Og because frogs don't always think like hamsters. I guess they wouldn't, since we're different species. "Don't worry, Og," I said. "I have a plan." Aldo had very kindly left the blinds open so the street light outside lit the room inside. I moved to the edge of the table and grabbed onto the leg. Taking a deep breath, I glided down. I've done it many times before. It's thrilling and slightly scary, and definitely dangerous. Once I hit the floor, I scurried over to Mrs. Brisbane's desk. That desk is extremely tall from a hamster's eye view. I had another lucky break. Mrs. Brisbane's chair was pushed close to the drawers of her desk, so getting to the red book on top wouldn't be too difficult. I stood on my tippy toes and reached up to grab the bar between the chair legs. I used every ounce of strength I could gather to pull myself up. Then I grabbed the next highest bar and, pulled myself up again. All the exercise I get spinning my wheel and rolling in my hamster ball has made me super strong hamster. Those veggies help too. Next, I grabbed onto the arm of the chair and inched my way up to the seat. Whew! I was so tired, my whiskers were wilting, but I was only halfway to my goal. Og sent me some encouraging boing boings. I rested for a few seconds, then reached up again, grabbed the edge of the desk, and pulled myself up, and threw myself on the desktop. Whew! Og splashed excitedly. After I caught my breath, I hurried over to the big book with a thick red cover. Along the side, in big black letters, it read, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I felt a little shiver as I looked at the picture of the great man with his deerstalker hat. Boing, 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 Og called impatiently. Okay, okay, I'm gonna open the book, I squeaked back. We'll find out how to be detectives soon. I reached up to touch the edge of the top cover. Oomph! I pushed hard with both paws. That's where we'll have to stop for today. We'll find out tomorrow if he got the book open and what happens next.